Everyone knows about the most popular horror mobile game, Granny. In this game, you as a host has to escape from a haunted house. You have to escape with the help of some things distributed randomly in the house, from the car, or from the main door. But in this house, you are not alone. Granny chases you every time whenever she sees you, and she will hit you hard with her deadly bat whenever she comes very close to you. But do you know what the real story of Granny is? Did you know that Granny was also a good old woman in her past? Granny was a simple old woman in her family. In her family, there were 4 members. They were Granny, Slendrina, Angeline, Slendrina's mother, and Slendrina's father, who is now known as Slender Man. Slendrina was Granny's granddaughter. Granny loved Slendrina so much. But Angeline saw Granny as her enemy. She didn't love even her daughter in her whole life. That's why Slendrina loved Granny more than her mother. Granny sometimes even heard some weird noises coming from Slendrina's room when her daughter-in-law is with Slendrina. One day, Granny saw that her son is hanging with the fan. The room was fully covered with some red and white powder. She cried a lot with her son's death. But Slendrina didn't cry at all, because she was not very beloved to her father. Granny also saw that Angeline was laughing in her room on the day when her husband died. For a whole week, Granny didn't talk to anyone. Slendrina was also very sad due to a lot of silence in the house. After many days, Granny decided to talk with Slendrina to make her happy. But when she went to her room, she was not there. She found her everywhere in the house, but she didn't find her. But when went into Angeline's room, she got shocked. She saw that Slendrina was lying on the ground inside a round circle created with some powder. Angeline was disguised as a witch and was about to kill Slendrina with a dangerous knife. Granny quickly entered into the room and tried to stop her, but she pushed her very hardly and then stabbed the knife into the Slendrina's stomach. She screamed once and then died. Granny cried a lot. Angeline turned into a creepy ghost. She teleported Granny to a jail she created at the top of the house. There, Granny screamed and cried a lot due to his son and granddaughter's death. One day, Granny was lying on the ground in the jail that she saw the ghost of Slendrina. She was looking very horrifying, but Granny saw her as her little cute girl. She was very angry on her mother and wanted to take revenge from her. She gave Granny some powers and a bat to kill Angeline. Granny started looking very scary after getting Slendrina's powers. She got gray skin, white eyes, and blood marks on her skin. She had become more powerful than Angeline. She went to her and killed her in one hit. She hanged her inside a room behind the bookshelves to hide her. After that, Granny started protecting her house from intruders. But the story does not end here. The story of main character is still left. The man who is our main character was going in the car to his home when suddenly he saw a giant tree lying on the road. From there, he changed his way from the jungle as a shortcut. When he was going, he saw a creepy house inside the jungle. In front of that house, his car stopped. When he got out of the car, he heard some weird sound coming from that house. He got very scared. He quickly started checking his car. But when he was checking, somebody hit hardly at his head. When he was about to faint, he looked at his backside. A creepy woman was standing there. That creepy woman was Granny. She took that man inside her house and locked him inside a room. She also separated his car parts. She decided to kill him after 5 days. He has to escape from the house within 5 days. This was the real story of a horror legend, Granny.